again, it's Matt from the house. I'm here with Tony from Never Summer, and he's going to run us through the all-mountain ladder of snowboards from Never Summer for the 21-22 season. Let's check these out. So first up, we've got the Snowtrooper, and this thing is a super versatile board.
This board has the ability to fit for a beginner rider and an intermediate rider, and if you're an advanced hard charger, you're still gonna have a real good time. It features our original rocker camber, which has camber pockets underneath the feet, a long section of rocker for ease of turn. It's very forgiving, edge to edge, but still super stable at high speeds. You're not gonna sacrifice that stability of hard charging, but you still have the ease and grace of getting edge to edge from the original rocker camber. It features the Vario side cut on it, so you're still going to get incredible edge hold, creating additional contact points along each edge. So if you're in ice and hard pack in the less favorable conditions, you're still going to be able to hold an edge. It excels in powder. The rocker shape gives it a chance to float. So versatility is key. If you're riding general resorts out here in the Midwest, it's going to do really well. If you take it out west and have a powder day, you're not going to have a bad time.
So those guys, even if you're just starting, let's say you're pretty athletic too, and you catch on to stuff really quick, this is going to be a great board for you to start on and progress on. You're not going to outgrow the performance on this thing. Okay, so next up, still at $570, same price as the Snowtrooper, we've got the Hammer, but it's a little different board. This is the first year in the lineup for this one, right?
It is. We had a little bit of draw for the traditional camber board, and enough of our old customers were just really favorable of having a traditional camber board in the lineup. But this isn't your traditional camber of old. What we did is we added a transitional period in the tail and in the nose where it's flat. So once you weight the board, it allows for some early rise. It also has our Vario side cut, so it doesn't turn like a traditional camber of old. You're gonna have the quick responsiveness, getting you in and out of turns with the Vario side cut. And then the early rise is gonna allow it to float a little better. And what it also does is the grace in getting in and out of each turn with this flat section, it makes it a little smoother transition in and out of turns.
Cool, so you still get the aggressiveness of camber in this thing, but it has a little bit of that easier feel too, kind of all mixed up into one board.
Exactly, and you still have that high-speed stability out of here that, you know, the hard carve and hard charging camber riders really demand. But you still get some of the benefits of new technology to go with that old stuff.
Okay, so next up in the line, we've got the Ripper coming in at $580, and for that extra $10, we're getting a little sturdier glass in this one, right?
We did. What we have here is, well, this is my personal board daily driver. And what we did is we had a little bit more aggressive riders saying that the Snowtrooper was a little soft. When you got in bigger stuff or going really fast, riders were pushing it. So what we did is add an additional layer of glass over the top. It's a tri-radial glass, which is 45-degree angles, and that helps with torsional rigidity. And this features the ripsaw profile. So we have deep pocket camber under each foot, a little bit longer section of rocker between the feet, which keeps it easy to float. The camber sections in the tail and underneath the foot and the nose give you the power and generating energy in and out of your turns. And high-speed stability, this thing's not gonna wash out on you. It's gonna handle all the chunk, all the leftover chunder. When you've gone to powder day and it's all beat up, you can just plow right through all that stuff without getting chucked and bounced around. It's set back from center about 1/2 inch. However, the symmetric flex pattern, the symmetric side cut allows you to ride it switch. It's not gonna hold you back. Directional board in the sense that the inserts are set back from true center. Not as much geared towards a beginner because of its stiffer flex pattern. So intermediate rider on up to advanced, and if you're a hard charger that likes to attack the whole mountain, still stable in powder, stable in big lines, but it's a very park-friendly board.
Cool, so this board is obviously for that guy that likes to ride hard no matter where he's riding. Or if you've been riding the Snowtrooper or the SL was what it used to be. If you're still riding one of those from back in the day, this could be your next board. Okay, so next up we got the Harpoon, which is a pretty rad board. This actually is coming over from the Shaper series, which you would think is a little bit more of a free ride board. But at $590 from the Ripper, we're adding that carbonium top sheet. And then what else in this thing makes it so special that it can actually live in the All Mountain series as well as in the free ride series?
That's a good point, Matt. And because of its versatility, it's very All Mountain capable. It's got a soft flex, so it's playful. We have a bunch of edits of our park guys ripping through rails nails and hitting kickers. So it's super playful and fun. Carving it's from our Shaper series, so it has taper and fusion profile. So what it is a relaxed camber in the front, ease of turn, getting back in and out, and then the tail of the board has the ripsaw profile, and it's a deep pocket of camber, so when you're carving in and out of turns, it's generating that energy out of your turns. Taper, everything with taper likes to turn, so you got a little bit wider nose than the tail, and the tail just kind of follows it around. Because of its ease and playfulness in a park, ability to carve and ride all the mountain, and of course she really shines in the powder. Because of that versatility, we feel like it's groups in with our all mountain stuff.
Yeah. And another thing that's pretty cool about this board too is that you look at the shape of the nose and the length of it, and then you look at the shape of the tail and the length of it. But this board, when it's sitting on flat snow from contact point to contact point, it's almost twin. It's very twin-like. It's not full-on twin, but when you're riding on flat snow, if your stance is centered up on the side cut, it actually feels more like a regular all-mountain board. And then when you get into the deep snow, you're just laughing all day long.
Yeah, I'm glad you made that point, because it does ride switch. It'll look a little funny in the first, but if you can get it out of your head, a lot of this material is off of the snow, so on hard pack, it doesn't come into play. But when you are in the deep stuff, this big long nose that's also quite soft wants to rise. The tail sinks with the stiffness, easy to slash and carve. I liken it to a bobber in water. She just wants to float. It's kind of hard to keep her down. And think about it this way too. You're not having to lean back and set your weight back and burn out your back leg. You can center your gravity in the middle of the board, ride powder all day, and not burning out. So get more runs, have some fun.
So if you're that guy that wants a board that rides incredible in the powder, but you want to be able to ride the park too, this is pretty much a quiver killer.
Yeah, she bridges the gap.
Okay, so next up, coming in at 620, we've got the Protosynthesis. So this board is a staple. This is one of the fastest selling Never Summer boards. Even when it was just the Proto, when it was first introduced, throughout the years as it's evolved into the Protosynthesis, it's still one of the best selling Never Summer boards out there. And then this one actually is kind of that 50-50 board. So if you like to ride park, you can like run all day long in the park, but it handles the entire mountain. And for those extra couple bucks, what are we getting in this one?
Well, this has got all the bells and whistles. We put our top sheets in it. Whenever we come up with new technology, the Proto's the first to get it. So there's carbon recluse weaves, rubber dampening pad. What the dampening does is absorb vibrations and chatter, so less of that energy coming up through your feet. Line the perimeter with rubber, so it deadens and dampens all that. It features our shockwave profile, which is deep camber pockets here, less rocker in between your feet. Still gives you that playful ease of turning, but you still get the high-speed stability, which we're known for. Tons of snap and pop. Once you get this thing arced and bent into your turn, she's going to explode in and out. And if you're loading it up to pop and ollie or get up on something, it's real easy to press and load the board up, and then when you're ready, just let her kick.
Well, that carbon gives you everything you need when you need it.
It does. And the Vario side cut, again, too, gives you additional contact points along each edge. Ice and hard pack in variable conditions. You're not going to have washing out and slipping and sliding. Gives you the bite and strength and power. Gives you confidence to lay it down.
Perfect. So compared to the last board, the Harpoon, if you like that traditional shaped board and you ride park half the time and you ride the rest of the mountain the other half the time, this is definitely a good go-to. Okay, with the success of the Proto, if you got a board that's insane and everybody loves it, make a little bit snappier, livelier version, and that's the Proto Ultra. So this one's coming in at $650. So compared to the Proto, what are we getting for those couple extra bucks here?
The Protosynthesis, you get the upgrade to the Proto Ultra. We added carbon. Chris Corning's one of our Olympic athletes, which commanded a little bit more support for bigger landings. What we did is you have a carbon layer across under the cambered section, another carbon layer underneath the cambered section. We also threw another carbon X across the middle of the board, so it's going to add rigidity here, and make it extra stiff here. This board also comes out of the press with a little bit of added waist width, so everything with added waist width, you're going to get a little bit stiffer product. So you're going to get a high speed, super stable board. I wouldn't put beginners on this guy, but if you're a strong intermediate rider on up to pro level, and you command stability at high speeds and you're going monster hits and kickers, and you want to be able to land safely, comfortably with support, you know, give it a shot. It speaks for itself.
Cool. So this board is for, again, that guy that's riding hard no matter what. You like to charge hard in the park, you like to charge hard in the big mountain, and everywhere in between, this board can handle it all. All right, well, thanks for checking out the 2122 Never Summer All Mountain Ladder. If you got any questions beyond what we talked about in the video, leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you to some rad gear, but we also want to make sure that it fits you and your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And no matter where you're riding on the mountain, you want one board that can do it all. Check out one of these Never Summer All Mountain boards and get out and ride, because every day of riding is a good day of riding.